last day we discussed about the storage account, about the storage, what is the storage account, what services are available in the storage accounts, and all those things we have discussed. But briefly before we start, we will just go through. Let's say, let me find the right link. Okay, so we discussed about blob storage, I think, in detail. So it's like, basically file is being called in Azure as a blob. So it's the same thing. And also we discussed about what do you call, okay, containers we have discussed about. So the account is having containers and containers are having files. So basically under the blob, you can see these are the files. Okay. So let's go back. And also we discussed about the URL, how the URL is being formed. So we will see it practically today. We discussed about the type of account available. Mostly commonly is being used is general purpose V2. You will find this one only. If someone is having, data specific or, analytics purpose account, then they will go for different one. Then we discussed about the containers. Containers are basically, set of blobs or the folders in simple word. So it's like, similar to directory in the file system. All right. So if we do have blob, then how we will have, so the URL mostly in the exam, if someone is preparing for AZ 104 exam, so this type of question, appears there. So like how you will form a URL. So they will give you some of like static part of the URL and they will ask you to fill the other part. So here, let's say account name will come, then dot, then this is common for everyone. Like if it is blob service we are using, then it will be used blob. If we are using file service, then file. And if we are using table service, queue service, then we will have this. And then the name of container and the file. So blob types, we discuss about the blob types. So first blob type is blob. Second blob type basically is the append blob, and third one is the page blob. Difference is very simple. Commonly we are using the blob. If we are having any file which is, expanding continuously, like logging one, where you are, extending the same file, you are putting the logs, row above rows, then you will use the append blob. That is efficient for storing this kind of data. This is for like storing the images, binary data. And this one is for storing the VHD files or any large file which is having, sort of, let's say, virtual machine drive sort of or thing, or very large file, any like graphic file or etc. So we can use the page blob for them. URL for each case is different. So if we go for blob, we'll get the same like this. So up to after slash we have container name, means this is like folder you can assume, and then the file is my blob. Okay. If you have, multiple hierarchy in this one, then your directory and then this one. So your container, then your folder, subfolder you can assume, and then your file. Rest of the URL is same. Okay, so let's, I think we have no. Okay, creating also we have seen, but I quickly, let me see if anything meaningful for us. Quickly go through. I think, yeah, we discuss about this thing, redundancy stuff. So we will practically see today. Basic theme. Okay. Okay, let it be open one side and we will continue with the storage account. So when we create the storage account, we can either go to resource group in the Azure portal. So we are in Azure portal now. We'll check which resource group we can create. So I'll choose the Central India one, which is one of the resource group we have available. Or I have another resource group which is in West India. So let's pick this one. And I will click on plus create button. Like we are creating the virtual machine. Anything we are creating through this plus create button. Another way is like I show you, if we go to top bar, we can type here, let's say storage account, and we can click on this, and all the storage account in this subscription will be visible here. If I go here and I type virtual machine, means here I will be able to see all the virtual machines in this entire subscription. So if I just want to see one service, a specific service, I can go here and search for that. So this is another way to create anything which we are looking for. So let's go this way, and here only the difference is we will have to select the resource group. Okay, I'll go plus create. It will do the same job basically. Okay, so we will have to pick the resource group. I think it was Arbor RG, and then we will have to provide a unique name for the storage account, which is not taken or which is not picked by others basically. So let's say if I picked like Kamal only, it's like very common. So someone has already used this name. So you have to use a unique name which is not being used by others. So you can use your first name, last name, and SA1 or something like this. So this is how you can create. Then your region will automatically filled up like your resource group, but then you can change it as well. And your performance you will keep standard. If you are using any specific service which is having low latency requirement, then you can go for this. Another option like redundancy. So in redundancy, you will pick the redundancy generally for our testing purpose or just for learning. We go for LRS. But in production environment, if your company is having sufficient budget and they would like to spread their data across multiple region or multiple zone or zone plus region, then you can choose this one. So ZRS stands for zone redundancy, GRS stands for geo redundancy, and ZZRS is the combination of both. And LRS is locally in one data center, you will get the 3 copies. So for learning, we will go for LRS. This was about the basic tab where it gives you a little bit of description as well here. And let's go and click on next. Here this is like default security stuff related to storage account. You don't have to touch unless if you would like to enable this one for anonymous, means publicly available data over the internet, then you can check it. Rest of the things are like default, so don't touch it. If you would like to create subfolders, then you can use hierarchical namespace.